Did you know that there's a simple combination of natural
different. It's just different. different. It's just different. Different.
It is Monday. It is 1 o'clock. It is time for the Monday message, guys. I am not going to talk very much because I want to listen a lot today. Guys, we have a very special guest with us today on the Monday message, Mr. Terry Edwards, and I want to hear everything that he has to say. I want to mute out. I want to listen in. I want to take notes. But man, what an exciting week last week. Out on the road last week. I was in Detroit on Monday. We had a crew of new people out there, new width, new depth. Kevon's got people coming on. I'm just telling sharp looking people, exciting meeting there. Salt Lake City, the Utah stuff is starting to click. I've been telling y'all this is coming. I've been telling you this wave is coming. Atlanta after that, exciting week. On top of that, Adam Burge did his first set of the estate planning seminars. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to watch what comes out of that. I mean, just it's so much exciting stuff, guys. On top of that, we've got coming up at 2 o'clock the Dial Jam from 2 to 4. So jump on the Dial Jam with us, listen in. After that Dial Jam at 4 o'clock, I'm going to be coming back on and we're going to do a special training on CCL leads and policy reviews. How to make significant amounts of money working CCL leads and doing policy reviews, selling to people that already have a policy. Even if you're not doing CCL leads, this training will help you a ton because you're talking to people that already have maybe they already got a final expense policy. And the easy thing to do is go, oh, crap, they already got one. There's a ton of opportunity there. And we're going to talk about that. Let's see what else we got coming up. We got the Dial Jam. Oh, one thing I just want to also point out before we get into leaderboards, on Discord, those notices pop up for those Ask Omar segments. Utilize those. Those are powerful segments where you can jump on. It's like when you're in college and the professor has office hours and you can just show up and ask any question you want. Omar's been with me the decade plus. He knows the products, he knows the processes, and he makes himself available during those times. So when you see that Ask Omar notice come up, any question you've been thinking, anything you wonder about, jump on and take advantage of it. All right, let's get right into our leaderboards because like I said, I don't want to talk much. I want to listen a lot. All right. Leaderboards are on this screen over here. Is there a way to bring those over in front of me? Hang on. Yeah, I want those in front of me because I can't see it over there. Otherwise, I'm going to do that the whole time. All right, let's go. We're going to go all producers over 1,000. We're going to start with Janet coming out of Houston, Ashley, Kelly Lynn Courageous, Allison, Kyra, Kevon, James coming in. Let's see who else we got next leaderboard. Let's keep rolling. We got Sky, we got Mallory Barnes, we got Seth and Adina Decker, Latanya, Mimi Ramiro, Andre Lee out of Raleigh-Durham area. You got David Helgeson, Jeanette, Tom Payne, Rachel Hernandez coming on, Aaron Wilson. Man, that training she did a couple weeks ago, strong. Go back and watch it again on the YouTube page. It's there. I'm telling you, it will make you more money. I lost my place here. David Fleming, way to go, David. I love it, man. Michael Guerra coming in with $7,236. Mark Hutchison coming in at $8,088.12. I turned in $10,898.20. Not enough for top five. Let's look at this top five. Top five last week. Jeremico Edwards coming in at $12,806. Mercedes, man, Mercedes is killing these IUL leads in Spanish. All of my Spanish is just comedic in nature. Like I like funny things I've learned to say over the years. I'm gonna learn Spanish to sell those leads, man. I'm telling you that is just insane what she's got going on. And in Paris right now with her son. So I'm telling you, working hard, reaping the rewards, jumping out on those IUL Spanish leads as an early adapter. I love it. Rogers and Kim Straughter making some big things happen. Nick Greco, $27,247.16. Number one agent last week, got an annuity in there, got applications written, brand new and direct with Mr. Dave O'Brien, $74,431.59 in premium submitted last week. And oh, by the way, got a big paycheck coming on Wednesday. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, next. Top five paychecks from last week. Last week, these were the top five paychecks over 3 days. Remember, we get paid Monday, Wednesday, Friday. David Helgeson with $3,172.14. Seth and Adina Decker coming in at $5,358 deposited last week. Mr. Mark Hutchison got $10,804.43 deposited last week. Adam Burge did his first annuity seminar and got paid and got another big paycheck coming. That's what I hear. Exciting stuff, man. Deposited $14,831.41 last week. Number one paycheck last week, Mr. Nick Greco, $20,685.43 deposited last week alone. Next, here we got the Cabo leaderboard. You see, I told you these are going to start taking shape as you see the producers coming on. They're catching up with everybody that got those initial $100,000 bonus credits, guys. Andy's giving 100,000 bonus points. I mean, golly, giving the bonus points for every event. Here's what's crazy: we go to the events, we get better, we learn how to make more money, and we get bonus points towards Cabo. So Helgeson, you've about got it locked up. There's going to be some movement on this leaderboard with some of the stuff that's getting issue paid this week. I just love seeing it, and I'm just so thankful that Andy throws those bonus credits out there. I love it. Recruiting last week, the base shop. Again, we're not getting good flow of those numbers. So if you'll submit them through Discord on Friday when you get the notice. Same thing with the submit. We don't get good submit from all the carriers. We always get the issue paid. Way to go, guys. Building teams. Let's go. Travel schedule, May 6th, I'll be in Salt Lake City. June 8th, we're going to do that big boot camp here. We're going to do the same schedule. We're going to go hard in the paint from 9 to 5, and then we're going to have a big barbecue block party, hang out, come hang out with us. It's going to be incredible. June 8th. This is what everything points to right now, guys. I'm telling you, family reunion in Burlington, North Carolina, August 2nd through the 4th. If you've heard me talk about it once, you've heard me talk about it 1,000 times. Here's the thing. Low performers, they miss all their life-changing events because they're waiting for one to happen. They'll be, I got to have a life-changing. Make this the change point. Like, make this the event where I have 30 people. Make this the event where I have 10 people. I only have myself. In fact, I wasn't even there most of the time. The first time, now I got 10 people there, and I'm making stuff happen. Guys, I'm telling you, and Terry, one of the reasons I got Terry on is he is the leader in the company in event promotion. The leader in the company in event promotion. All right, I think that's all our slides. All right, perfect. Like I said, I didn't want to talk much because I want to listen a lot. Guys, Terry Edwards, let me tell you something. Having done this 22 years, I have a little bit of a historical perspective on the company. There are times when people come in and they come in like a force. And it's funny. I love it. It happens the same way every time. At first, you just hear their name in whispers like, who's Terry Edwards? Who's Terry Edwards? Because you're seeing all the stuff happen before they're all of a sudden a massive stage presence. And I love that little buildup where people are like, who is this? Who's Terry Edwards? Because he came on like a storm. And then the first time Terry would hit the stage, I was like, oh, God, we've been needing Terry. I didn't know how bad we needed Terry until I met Terry. I was like, oh my God, the power, the passion, the presence, the love of the team. And let me tell you something. I also have gotten to know Terry personally over the years. And as excited as I was to see him come on the scene, I've been even more excited to get to know him as a man because he's a fighter. He's got integrity. And let me tell you something. I was on a very small leadership call on Friday. And I spent the rest of the weekend just thinking about the leadership presence. This is a very small leadership group with Andy Albright as we were addressing some things as the top leadership group. And just Terry, brother, I got off that call and I couldn't stop thinking about it all weekend, man. So I appreciate you for who you are. Appreciate you for the energy you and Tia bring. I thank you for the growth that you bring, new people bringing in growth. I mean, it's one of those things like, well, my team's not growing at events because XYZ. And it's like, bro, Terry Edwards is killing it. What's he doing? Let's do that. And so, Terry, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to listen in. I'm going to mute out. And I'm going to take a bunch of notes, brother. Thank you for your time. I know how insanely valuable it is. And I just want to listen in. So I'm going to turn it over to you, man. Light us up.
OMG.com. I'm probably just dating myself. I said something earlier today, like we was doing a dial jam. And somebody said something. I was like, well, we're all just a whip, WIP. And watch me, nay. A whip is a work in progress. And one of my agents said, like, that is so like 2023. But anyway, man, Stephen, thank you so much for inviting me on your team call this afternoon, man. I don't take it for granted. When I came to the Alliance 9 years ago, when Tia and I saw you and Holly from stage, it was like, that's who we want to be like. We want to build a big business, but we don't want to sacrifice our relationship and our marriage or our relationship with our children. You know, a lot of people, they are public successes and private failures. And I so appreciate the example that you and Holly have been to me and Tia since day one. And the cool part about it is you haven't changed. Like we're all growing in different areas, but the core of who Stephen and Holly Davies are has not changed. And you have been doing this for 22 years. Listen, there are so many people out here. Listen up, Davies Nation. I know familiarity breeds contempt or whatever you want to call it. I might mess up a word or two, but listen, this is what I know. In the world that we're living in today, there are all these people on social media. I guess they call themselves influencers. There are old agents who are selling leads now. It's all types of noise out there. But at the end of the day, I don't know about y'all. I don't need no more influencers. I don't need no more people to motivate me. I'm looking for role models. See, the difference, anybody can be your mentor and tell you what you should do. But a true role model is going to give you an example. This is what I did do. I would love to take people from advice for this is what I did do versus this is what you should do. And Stephen and Holly Davies has been consistent. So listen, guys, I don't care what new product comes along, what new this comes along. If you are not listening, which is one of the 8 steps, and getting upline coaching from Stephen and Holly Davies, I can assure you, you are missing out on something because you don't stay in a business 22 years and not have experienced a lot, not have been through a lot. People turned their back on you. They said they were with you. They left debt, and he still is here. So with that being said, man, Stephen, bro, I owe it all to you, man. And I appreciate your example. But I know a lot of times I get people fired up. But listen, I'm going to talk about something today. It should get you fired up, but it might wet your wood a little bit at the beginning. I'm going to talk about failure. See, a lot of times we don't talk about failure. We don't talk about the downsides. A lot of people just want the highlight reels, right? But if you're taking notes, go ahead and write this down. Businesses fail when people fail. Businesses fail when people fail. And Zig Ziglar says this, you don't build a business, you build people, and then people build the business. When you build a better company, you will build a better company by building better people. So why is it we got great leads? We have great training. Look at the training that Davies just is putting on within he's not dependent just on the TWC, the product call. He is going above and beyond, making sure you understand how to work current clients. Like, guys, if you take that for granted, you're missing the boat. And his example, he still submitted 10,000. This dude got money and raw. Like, he got a 28,000-gallon swimming pool in his backyard, y'all. He hit 5 cities last week. Listen, y'all, this man is working for something beyond money. Do you get that? He is in this for the people. He wants to see people win, and not just people. He wants to see the people in his like, yeah, he cool with everybody in the Alliance winning, but I guarantee you, he gets real fired up when people that's a part of his hierarchy is winning. So while we got the carriers, we got the leads, we got the systems, you got the training, we got everything that anybody would need to get what they came for. With all that in place, why do people fail? Why is it? So we're going to talk about failure today. One of my great heroes, his name is Reverend Andrew Young. He's a civil rights icon. He said men and women fail for 3 main reasons. Number 1, arrogance. Number 2, pride. And number three, greed. Arrogance, pride, and greed. So if y'all got on the call today thinking we're going to talk about phone script, not it. Like, we got to put enough of that. But we want to get into this thing of why people fail, right? Arrogance. What is arrogance? It just means being unpleasantly proud. Have you ever been around somebody that thought they poop don't stink? Like, bruh, like, you are not all that in a bag of chips. People that are arrogant, they also behave in a way that they think they're more important than you. What are some examples of being arrogant? Attempting to intimidate others, refusing to learn from others. Like, you are arrogant if you refuse to learn from other people that's actually doing what you're doing, that's getting results, fighting for their opinion. Listen, we're coming into an election season, and I don't care what side you vote. I literally don't care. But as we're coming through this season, there is so much money that's being thrown in these political action packs and all this stuff. Do you think they need your little 123 followers to know what side you're voting? Like, can we just be unifiers in this season? They don't need us saying what we believe on social media and causing more division. Let me get off of that right quick. But sometimes we got to keep our opinion to ourselves. Putting people down in front of other people, that is arrogant, right? Showing off in business meetings. Like, Davies is one of the most humble leaders that I know. He takes time to shake people's hands. Even him and Andy Riddle, they're little dramaphobes too. They got their hands sanitized. But I've never seen Stephen Davies, somebody approach Stephen Davies, and he act as if they weren't important. There's a difference, y'all, between being confident and being arrogant. Whereas arrogance is being unpleasantly proud, confidence means just feeling sure of yourself and your abilities. I am sure that if anybody can take time to learn a phone script, right, and make calls and book 20 appointments a week, I am confident that anybody can do this business and win and produce that 20,000. Nick Greco did an amazing job on stage from A View from the Edge. Listen, time out. A View from the Edge is over. Family reunion. All roads are leading to Burlington, North Carolina, the place where it all started, the place where Stephen Davis drove from Asheville, North Carolina with ball tires, hoping that it didn't rain, stayed in a cheap motel that the rates were by the hour. Listen, if you don't know these stories, you don't know your leader. You see Stephen Davis as he is today. You see Nick Greco as he is today. But did you see where they started at? I'll get on that in a little bit. But confidence is nothing more than, and we want everybody to be confident. Listen, so my kids, we're looking at colleges now, right? It's crazy. I know I don't look over 22, but we're doing college tours. And I was walking beside this young lady, and she asked the tour guide. We was at North Carolina Central University in Durham. This young lady asked the tour guide, hey, where's the track and field coach office at? So she said, it's in that building right there. Now, this girl was about 5'6", 250. And I'm like, track and field? She don't fit the bill in my eyes for track and field. But homegirl was confident, had on her little shirt, had her belly out and stuff like that. But listen, I said, so this is interesting. So I got next to her. I said, okay, so you run track and field? She said, yeah, I do track and field. I said, okay, where are you from? She said, I'm from Georgia. I was like, okay, yeah. I said, yeah, they're growing thick in Georgia. But anyway, but what I'm trying to say is this right here. There is nothing more beautiful than confidence. That young lady was confident. And if I'm the track and field coach and she walks into my office, she's grabbing my attention day one. If you want to get confidence in this business and in your abilities, don't be arrogant. Be confident that that Stephen Davis ain't no better than you. He put on his pants one leg at a time like you. But can you be confident enough to put in the work to become who he has become over the last 22 years? Now, some examples of confidence. Always, notice I say always. Always, not without, not sometimes, not depending on who, always do the right thing. People that are confident are always going to do the right thing. Confident people know their weaknesses and they accept them, and they also accept their strengths. So how can you build self-confidence? Number one, we got to be open to try new things. We got to drop old habits, y'all, and stop trying to justify why we're doing what we're doing. Let me remember, your contact ratio, no, your close ratio is 35%. You need some help. Very minimal, it should be 50%. But when I talk to people that got a 35% close ratio, they're going to justify to me what they did. When, I was there, they loved me. And, the only reason I didn't pick a check, they didn't have their checking account number. I'm like, they didn't like you. So, stop trying to justify your lack of results and yield to coaching. Confident people don't mind being coaching. As a matter of fact, confident people like to be coached hard because we want to get better faster, right? How else can you develop self-confidence, build your self-confidence? Be actively involved in your performance evaluations. How do you do that here? Track your freaking numbers. Our activity book, this right here, track your numbers. So that way I tell people there are two things that you got to get good at here. You got to work in your business, but also you got to get darn good at working on your business. On Sunday evenings, that's a good day Sunday at some point during the day, it's a good time to evaluate what you did last week. What was my contact ratio? What was my book ratio? What was my sit ratio? What was my close ratio? And was it better than what it was last week? Do I have my leads? How many leads did I buy last week? Did I get referrals? How was I on the 4 basis? If you can self-examine and diagnose yourself, confident people then can go to their coach and say, hey, man, my close ratio sucked this week. How can you help me? As opposed to Stephen or your growing upline having to point out, like, bro, if you keep doing the same thing, you're going out of business fast. And then you're going to be on the internet, not the internet, the internet, posting how Stephen Davis suck and all. Have you ever noticed that people that's making money ain't posting? We working, baby. So be actively involved in your performance evaluations. Self-diagnose yourself. Learn to recognize when you are operating in your strengths and when your weaknesses is raising its ugly head. See, our weaknesses cause us to get arrogant and because it hurts to look at where we're not so good at. It hurt my feelings. But listen, a confident person know when they're operating in their strengths, but this is what they do with their weaknesses. They partner with their weaknesses. Most people want a pat on the back for what they do good, but they never want to learn how to get better at what they suck at. The fourth thing is this right here. How you going to build your self-confidence? The third was learn to recognize when you're operating in your strengths versus your weaknesses. The fourth thing is give yourself time to tackle a new challenge. So many of us come to this business broke, busted, and disgusted, but we don't have the skill sets that we need to get unstuck. Because if we had the skill sets to be unstuck, we wouldn't be stuck. That's insane, right? Our current thinking does not possess the capacity to get us out of where we are, because if it did, we wouldn't be where we are. You have to give yourself time to learn this business. Now, I had some success in banking. I had some success in network marketing. But when I came here, I told Jason to consider me a blank canvas. Don't let me be operating in no blind spots. Tell me where I'm screwing up at. Because I knew just because I had success somewhere else didn't necessarily translate that I was going to have success here. Have you ever remember that guy from high school that's always talking about that, that state championship that they won back in 1982? Like, bruh, it's 2024. When is the last time? Was that the last time you won? Was in 1983? No. Like, don't let me operate in a blind spot. Give me time to learn what I need to learn. We have so many people that they got to make money so fast that they can't learn the skill of connecting with people because they're so busy trying to close people. We have to learn how to connect. And the better that we connect, the more that we will close. But if you only focus on the closing because you got to pay your bills, you ain't gonna be able to connect because you're trying to get to the end of the ATM to see if you're picking up a check. You forgot to build the why, you forgot to get the budget, you forgot all that. So you're just trying to write an app. I got me an app. The second reason, last thing, building your self-confidence, evaluate your self-talk. What are you saying to yourself? Talk to yourself like you will talk to somebody that you love. If you get in some of our heads, we talk so much junk to ourselves. We're idiots. I'm lazy or whatever. I get up and tell myself I'm the prettiest. Now, some of y'all might not think I'm the prettiest, and I don't care. But I'm telling myself I'm the prettiest. Sharp and ambitious people are joining my business every single day. I make $50 an hour. I book 5 appointments an hour. These clients are excited about me coming over to their home. Oh yeah, my wife, she think I'm sexy when I'm down. Sharp and ambitious people join my business every single day. If you don't join my business, you are making the biggest financial mistake of your life. What are you telling your people? Are you telling yourself that nobody in my groups want to work? I can't find nobody to do nothing. Well, what is you doing? See, so many times we want to find the guy and the guy wants to follow the guy. So we got to be that role model in order to attract. So let's keep this thing moving. I hope I ain't boring y'all, but arrogance will kill a person. And when people die, our businesses die because we are dependent upon good people in order to build a good business. The second reason people fail is pride. Pride, Pride. Pride is a feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction from one's own achievement. It's nothing wrong with you wanting to win. But when you winning is more important than anything else around you, that's a problem. When you would rather win and your team, if your name ain't on okay, it gets to a point where in this business, we believe in recognition, right? But at some point, if your name ain't called, but 6 other people on your team name is called, why should you be feeling some type of way? Get out the way. Like Ludacris, move, get out the way. Listen, y'all, I've been wearing this ring right here for too long. We're in the middle of a historic push right now with the Dream Team that I need the bigger ring, because if I get the bigger ring, that means more other people that we've helped have gotten this ring. I am not satisfied with just wearing this ring. Does that make sense, y'all? So this is the thing. Get out your own. You ain't all that in a bag of chips. Help somebody else win. Bruce Barton said this: conceit is God's gift to little men. Little man complex. Y'all ever heard of little man complex? Them little short dudes. Now, if you short, I'm not talking but short men, they got an ego, they got to prove themselves. But anyway, pride is at the bottom of all great mistakes. Pride is the foundation of all great mistakes. When a peacock struts his stuff, you know how peacocks is, they got that big tail, pretty feathers. When they strutting their stuff, they're also showing their behind to half of the world. So when you are strutting your stuff and you just self-indulge to your team, most of the time, they're seeing your backside. And I don't know about you, but my backside ain't too pretty. Mine a little too wide. I'm working on it though. I'm working on it. So how do you kill pride? Number one, give people permission to point out pride in your life. I tell Andy Riddle all the time, hey, bro, do not let me be out here looking like a fool. When you see me getting too big, my nose too far up in the air, I need you to tell me. So invite people to hold you accountable that you don't get too big for your britches. See, this is the thing about pride. Pride fools the mind. It's very, very destructive. Pride's chief strategy is to slowly creep into your life while subtly diminishing your desire to honor anyone. Pride strategy, it don't happen all of a sudden. It's a gradual process. First of all, you know, Stephen Davis, he got me to 20 issue paying 20,000 a month when I was broke as a joke. But now, I got it now. I make six figures. I don't need to get on his calls no more. I don't need to edify the system no more. The alliance, it ain't perfect, right? You know that Andy Albright character. He ain't perfect, right? You start suddenly pointing out the negative. And then what happens is the people that you used to honor are no longer worthy of your honor. And when we start dishonoring people, that's when it goes to hell in a handbasket. I honor Stephen Davis for who he has been and what he stands for. A lot of people get it twisted because they think they got to agree with Stephen Davis or they have to agree with Andy Albright. You don't have to agree, but you can accept people for who they are. And I like to say it this way. You have to learn to treat people like a buffet. Now, I know I make a little change and I don't go to the Golden Corral like I used to, but it still ain't nothing like going to a good buffet. When I go to Golden Corral, I want that bourbon chicken and I want me some rice, some corn, and some yeast rolls. That's about all I want. You could keep the chocolate fountain. The salad bar, I don't need. I need it, but I don't want it. But what I'm saying is, I don't stop going to the Golden Corral or I don't stop coming to events because I don't like one of the speakers. You take the good and you leave what you don't want alone. So remember to honor those around you. That's how you kill pride. Number two, you focus on the team's mission versus your personal agenda. When we first get here, we're all team. But the moment your name hit the leaderboards and the bright lights, a lot of times that recognition taints us and we think that we have arrived when we are nothing without a team. I heard it said this way: if you are leading people or you call yourself a leader, look around and see if anybody is following you. Because if you don't have people following you, if you don't have unique writers, if you don't have issue paid legs, you are not leading, you're just taking a walk. Stephen, am I being too, I don't want to, all right, I'm all right. Okay.
You keep rocking, bro.
Okay. All right, how else do you kill pride? We got to work on listening. That's one of the 8 steps to success. Work on listening. Humble people take real interest in what other people are saying. They intently listen. I was talking with a young lady today, and as I was talking to her, she just looking around in my office. She was like, "Oh, I like that. I like that. I like this." She was making very little eye contact, and I had to keep bringing her back. When you can look a person in the eye, that is a gateway to their soul. If you want to make a difference with people, look them in the eye. When you look somebody in the eye, you can stare into their soul. And if you're only out here trying to teach phone script, in-home presentation, and products, and you wonder why you can't build deep relationships with people, because are you intently listening? Like sometimes listen, me and Tia, it's crazy, Davis. Me and Tia have pulled people in our office and just talked to them because we saw that, you know what? How are you going out here and you got mask and tape on the side of your glasses? When you're sitting down with a client and you got is a client really gonna take you serious? And your hair is all over the place. We have deep relationships and deep conversations with people to the point that they know that it's coming from a place of love and that we love them too much to leave them there. Yes. And that same agent, we bought her a pair of eyeglasses. We sent her to the hairdresser to get her, or cosmetic, whatever y'all call them. I call them hairdressers. We sent her and paid for her to get her hair done so that she will have more confidence in herself as she's going out. But listen, y'all, intently listen, get down in the weeds with people. Get involved in their lives so that you don't just have an agent, that you have a friend, you have a partner. And last but not least, you kill pride by practicing gratitude. Most of us tend to see the glass as half empty, and our attention oftentimes is drawn to what we don't have. But when we practice gratitude, it shifts from what I don't have and the areas that I may be missing it at, it shifts to the attention being drawn to the blessings that I have in my life. I may not have the charismatic or the joke skills or the storytelling of Stephen Davis, but what I got is Terry Edwards. I'm gonna bring what little bit I got to the table, and I'm gonna work that. Some people don't eat chitlins, but some people eat hog maw, and then some people can get the rib. But until I can eat ribs, I'm gonna eat these chitlins and be happy. Listen, the question is this right here: can you practice gratitude? Can you be struggling and go and sit in Stephen Davis $28,000 28,000-gallon pool and go back home not jealous of Stephen Davis, but inspired by Stephen Davis? Can you get around Andy Albright and he talk about his multiple homes? He talk about his jets, and you don't see that as a threat to who you are, but it's inspiring you. When you are grateful for what you have, you know it's only a matter of time. How do we build the dream team? I feel like this. It ain't Stephen Davis. I love him. He been here for 22 years. I've been here for 9. He got some time on me, right? How did he stay for 22 years? I'm trying to get that. I remember asking Stephen Davis one time, bro, how, because I want to be a good dad and build a big business. Hey, man, how do you leave home and go out on the road and not feel guilty for leaving your wife and kids at home? And he was like, Terry, when you're working, you got to be working. So when you get home and it's time to be present with your kids, you can be present with your kids. But most people have tell it. They have tell it at work and they feel guilty about their results. And they have tell it at home and feel guilty about that they should be working while they're at home. So, like, guys, when you practice gratitude, you can ask those type of questions. And last but not least, greed. Greed. Greed, just like pride, is deeply rooted. Greed is an intense, selfish desire for something, a selfish desire. You only want something for you. Guys, what we're doing is bigger than us. What we're doing, buy into that. Yes, go ahead and resolve in your spirit. We're going to make good money. We're going to make great money. We're going to travel the world together. But money and travel is only a small part of it. We are on an eternal mission to make the world a better place for our clients that are going to need us. Listen, you will get a call like I got the other morning at 6 a.m. from a client in hospice saying, Terry, make sure you take care of Crystal. The doctors have given up on me. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here. And yes, I answered that call at 6 a.m. in the morning. And yes, I confirmed, listen, first of all, we don't know the time nor the hour. The doctors are just practicing. So we got to live our best life right now, Miss Fry. We're going to live it right now. And guess what? She's still here. She thought she was going to be dead last week. She's still here. But listen, our clients are going to call us in sometimes their most desperate and down times. Our agents are the same way. We are committed to ending this war on poverty. How do we kill poverty? One family at a time. Financial literacy, teaching people how to build big profitable businesses. Even if you look, so many people are focused on partner. Yeah, I hope I get the partner, but I want to be financially free along the way. I want to have enough passive income coming in my bank account that's covering my passive bills. Andy Stanley said this, and I'm about done. Greed is not a financial issue, it's a heart issue. Greed is not a financial issue, it's a heart issue. So what causes people to be greedy? Fear. Fear. They fear that there's not enough to go around. Competition drives greed. especially not just competition, unhealthy competition. Competition got to be healthy to a point, but however, when it becomes excessive, it will lead to greed. Scarcity mentality. That you know what? If I don't get mine, if I don't get it, somebody else gonna get it. Let me go ahead and tell you. What's for you is for you, and what's for Stephen is for Stephen, and what's for Terry is for Terry. If I get what God has for Stephen, I might not even can handle it, and I'll eventually lose it. So scarcity mentality and lack of compassion. But how do we overcome greed? Take opportunities to be generous. Be the person that God called you to be, not who the world wants you to be. And let's kick the comparison game to the curb. Keep score with yourself. Am I better today than I was on yesterday? Or am I still dealing with the same crap that's been holding me down for the last 15 years? Comparison is envy's love language. There's a hole inside of your heart about the size of God. And I don't care what you put in there, it's only tailor-made for God. What I'm trying to say is this right here. As we go throughout the rest of 2024, Stephen Davis Group, TDG Financial, it's going to explode. I am begging you. Yes, I ain't too proud to beg. I am begging you. I don't care if this is day one or if you've been around for the last 20 years. Let's not be arrogant. Let's not be prideful. And let's not be greedy. Let's show love to one another. Matter of fact, how many times have you reached up to your upline and just say, hey, bro, I was just thinking about you. Anything I can do for you? Do you know at what lengths Davies and other leaders serve? Do you know how it feels to be isolated? Because the higher you go, it's not lonely at the top. You just got fewer options of who you can talk to that truly gets where you are. And trust me, you keep living and you're going to get there. Be a friend before you need a friend. Don't just call Stephen when you're in a home or you need some help. Sometimes just come and say, hey, brother, I'm thinking about you, man. How's Holly and the kids? Y'all track on what I'm putting out? Let's love like we ain't never loved before. And I guarantee you the premium is going to go through the roof. So we're going to make a vow on today. We ain't going to be arrogant. We ain't going to be prideful. And we ain't going to be greedy. We're going to go out and share this opportunity with other folks because the world needs the alliance right now. This world is crazy and it needs the alliance right now. So that's all I got today, Stephen. I hope it's been helpful, man.
It's beyond helpful. I could show you the notes I've been sitting here taking the whole time, just incredible stuff. I mean,
you see, this is how Stephen good. See, I still use, look, I pull out my tablet. This is my tablet.
Hey, you don't got to plug that one in, bro. Hey, man. So I want to say, one, I've appreciated your example since I've gotten to know you, but the willingness to prepare after success. I mean, that's leadership. Most people succeed at some level and then they just get sloppy. They feel like they can just show up. I respect and very much appreciate the time you took to not just be here, but the willingness to prepare. I mean, that didn't, like, I'm watching you as you're giving your talk. It's not just, you're not just going, oh, let's see, what am I going to riff on? You prepared a talk for us. And I'm just going, I hope everybody understands that, like, they're listening to leadership, but they're also seeing leadership. Does that make sense? Man, I love this stuff. Work on your business as well as in your business. I can't tell you how many times I've done that Sunday evening download and just gone, oh God, no, I got to change, I got to do that. Be a blank canvas. Talk to yourself like someone you love. We all, anybody that's ever played golf with me knows I'm still working on that.
Hey, we got to acknowledge we're just there for the beer and the social hour. We ain't gonna make the tour.
My self-talk in the off is very different than my self-talk in golf. Pride. When you said vanity, I think it was something close to vanity was God's gift to little men. I was like, ooh, mm. Given permission to point to point. That was the buffet approach. I mean, working on intently listening, practicing gratitude, the inspired, not jealous. That was big to me too. That was so big to me.
Yeah,
Um,
that plays on a lot of people, man, because like when you're going through and you're struggling, like, and you get around wealthy people, you ever heard, and people start looking at people that got money, they be like, oh, they're greedy, they got it from taking other people. No, man, like now that's true, some people, but they don't keep it long. But somebody like you, man, like to get around your family and I know you do stuff at your house sometimes, and people come to your house and then they got to go back to their crappy apartment and if they don't have the right mindset, they'll start negative self-talk, thinking that you're better than them. No, 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 no. He been working hard. Like he's worked hard, and this is what you're gonna be in 22 years if you stay the course.
I
Not
love
tomorrow, but in 22 years.
I love taking them by our old apartment. It's to say this is where we were. Greed is not a financial issue, it's a heart issue. Greed coming from fear and scarcity. That's so true. I mean, if I believe there's enough for all of us, why would I ever be greedy? I love that. And then when you said comparison is envy's love language, just if y'all haven't read the 5 love languages, like that changed my world when I read that book and I realized, oh, so I'm spoken word and physical touch. So I'm always trying to chase Holly around and tell her I love her and hug on her, right? Yeah, that's me. But she's acts of service and gifts. So when I remember, and I just remember the first time it dawned on me, like in my mind, I was like, it makes no sense. But then it made perfect sense when it made sense, right? When I take my coffee cup from where I read in the morning to the sink, that means it's just, so that's what love language is for anybody who was confused by that. But you got to read that book. But when you said comparison is envy's love language, dude, that was awesome. I could keep going the rest of the day. I've already taken a ton of your time. I thank you so much. I will do anything I can to help you and Tia, guys. It's not a coincidence. It's not happenstance that Terry is leading the company in growth of event attendance. And let me tell you something, it's very predictable. Terry is going board member. He will become a multi-millionaire. It is the most predictable thing. Growth in event attendance always increases growth in income, growth in volume. You cannot get around it. And what you said last, I'm on board, brother. Let's love like we never loved, and the premium will come. Thank you so much. Please give me a Holly's love to Tia and the family. Anything I can ever do for you, brother, I will drop what I'm doing and be there to take care of it any way I can. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you, man. I love you guys.
Love you too, bro. Guys, let's honor the time that Terry gave us. Let's honor it with gratitude, but God, let's honor it with growth. The Alliance becomes #1 in all of integrity because we all go to that next level. Let's get out. Let's get after it, guys. Holly and I love you. Hammer down. Let's get after it.